there, guys. It is another wonderful day, and you are welcome to the official Gaddafi TV. This is your boy, Official Gaddafi, and today we have big news for you because the Premier League is coming back, and I am here to tell you 5 things that you should expect. 5 things that you should expect concerning the restart of the league, the restart of the Premier League. So if you haven't subscribed, you might want to consider subscribing right now because there is a lot of good stuff going on here which you guys are missing. You got to subscribe, you got to hit the notification button, you got to like the content. If you feel it's good for you, you can like the content. So without much ado, let's go deep into the stories because guys, you might want to stay to watch to the end because I have some serious insights, I have some serious perspectives that I'm going to bring to you towards the restart of the EPL season. So the first thing we are going to talk about is that the new Premier League, or the restart of the Premier League, is coming with 5 substitutions. You know, previously it used to be 3 substitutions, but now you can make up to 5 substitutions. You will ask yourself that this goes for all the clubs in the EPL. Why am I so happy about the fact that we can make 5 substitutions? Yes, you guys, I am so happy about it because you know that this season Chelsea have used most of our, academy products in the EPL. You know, so if we have 5 substitutions, it means we can increase the number of subs on the bench, and this also means that we can bring some of the academy boys into the first team squad. You know, after the restart, when the team started training, they brought a couple of the academy players in there because I could see Armando Broja in there, Henry Lawrence, which was recently linked with Dortmund. We have Tino Anjorin also playing a part in there, and a couple of others. So if we have this number of substitutions, it means we can fuse the academy boys into the first team squad, and they will get some minutes under their belt. They will get that exposure, they will get that first team exposure because we are going to need them next season. You know, Tino Anjorin recently signed a 5-year deal with Chelsea, which is likely going to keep him here in the long term. And for a player to get such a contract, and he hasn't even been sent on loan, it means that Frank Lampard rates him very highly. So imagine we are playing, and then in the 75th, 80th minute, Chelsea are leading by say 3 goals, 4 goals. You know, it gives the manager the chance to try some of the new players like Armando Broja, like Tino Anjorin, like Henry Lawrence. We can give them a taste of the Premier League action. So guys, these 5 substitutions is going to help us, and it's going to help the academy boys very much. Now we go to the second thing on the board. The second thing is, in my previous video, if you watched it, you could get some insight that Pedro is not willing to sign that temporary contract extension. Pedro is not willing to sign that temporary contract extension, as well as Willian. When it happens like this, it means we are losing 2 of our experienced wingers. And in the friendly matches that was played behind closed doors, Robin was used, Loftus-Cheek was used as a winger. That can go on to tell you much of the story that you didn't know, because why do you play Ruben on the wings when you have Callum, when you have Pulisic, when you have Willian, when you have Pedro? No, you don't do that. But because of the uncertainties surrounding these 2 players, Willian and Pedro, that led the manager to playing Ruben out of position on the wings, even though it's not a new position to him because that was the position he was playing when he was on loan at Crystal Palace. So this is another thing that you guys should expect. Now we move on to the third story, or let's say the third point, and that third point is on Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek is back. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is back, and he is coming back straight into the squad as a new signing. We lost him getting to the end of the last season. I mean, the previous season when we were playing in that friendly at America where he got that nasty injury. That has kept him out since that time till now. He started gaining fitness when, and then the coronavirus also came in there, so he had to, wait because of the lockdown and other stuff. But now I can say he is stronger. He has that much fitness than most of the, first team players. In the friendly matches that we played, in the second one when we beat Aston QPR by 7 goals 2-1, Ruben got a brace. So Ruben is coming back, and he is coming back to fortify the squad. He's coming back to augment the squad. He's coming back to improve the squad because we know what he does, how he drives the ball through the middle, which we have been missing of late. So Ruben is coming back, and that is the third point you should know if you don't already know. This leads us to the fourth point. The fourth point here is on the players who has to prove something to the manager. And I'll start with Kepa. This season has been a kind of a topsy-turvy, kind of situation for Kepa Arrizabalaga. He started the season very brightly, and then in the course or along the line, he lost it when he had issues with his girlfriend, which affected his psychology. So he kind of lost it, was conceding some easy goals. So the manager was forced to drop him, even though he is his first choice goalkeeper. But due to the dip in form, he had to drop him for, Caballero to come in there. But he was able to bounce back. Kepa is a very strong boy. He was able to bounce back to command that starting berth again. So he still has something to prove because Chelsea has been linked with a couple of goalkeepers, with Andre Onana, one of them. So the remaining 9 matches is going to be a bigger or a huge test for Kepa's, brilliance, Kepa's goalkeeping prowess, if he deserves to stay on as Chelsea's number 1 goalkeeper. So that is on Kepa. Now the next player is Ross Barkely. Barkely has been having a lot of off-field issues. He had these club issues when he went to Dubai for vacations, which Frank Lampard came out to even condemn him for that kind of attitude he put on. So he's been having off-field issues, and on the pitch, he hasn't been that brilliant, even though he started picking up when the break came. Because if you watch the game against Liverpool, even the game against Everton, he did very, 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 very well. And I was beginning to think that this was a new beginning for Ross Barkley because he hasn't been able to turn up. The kind of promise that he came with, he hasn't been able to show us much. So when things started picking up for him, I was very happy. But unfortunately, the coronavirus stepped in and then we had to break. So when the league restarts, Ross Barkley has a lot of things to prove to we Chelsea fans because we are making signings. Ziyech, we are making attacking reinforcements. Ziyech has come in. Now, Timo Werner has come in. And Chelsea are also working on a deal for Kai Havertz. So, he has a lot of things to prove. He has to prove to us if he really deserves a spot in this Chelsea squad. Now, we move on to the fifth and the final story. Can Chelsea make the top 4? Can Chelsea make the top 4? These 9 matches are going to be very, very, very intense. And we have a couple of difficult matches in there. We have a game against Manchester City. We also have a game against Liverpool. It's going to be very, very difficult, very, very intense. The games are not going to be a joke. And that is what is going to determine if we can actually qualify for the Champions League. If we qualify for the Champions League, it gives us some kind of advantage in the transfer market because most of the players we are looking to sign are players who have the Champions League quality. And if you can't, offer them the Champions League, then they may not come. So we need to qualify for the Champions League in order to get the quality players that we have been chasing. So So don't think we are going to have things on a silver platter. It's going to be very, very difficult, because looking at this stage, we have the relegation, those battling for the relegation, and we have those battling for the top 4. There is Tottenham still in there. Manchester is right behind us, just 3 points separating us and then Manchester United. And a couple of other clubs, Wolves, Sheffield United, a very boogie side. We have all these clubs looking to get into the Champions League spot. So when the league resumes, don't think Chelsea is going to have things easy. Even though I predict we are going to be placed third on the league table, it's not going to be, because we have to fight for everything. We have to see every match as a final. The remaining 9 Premier League matches, we have to see, or we have to take each of them as a final. So guys, these are the 5 things that you should expect when the league resumes, according to Official Gaddafi TV. This is where you get the best. This is where you get the best.